I just got to ask you, Madam Secretary, what do you think? You're here in Walbrook Junction, interesting part of town. Project Corps came through. You know, we're dealing with a lot of blight, open air.
You know what? There's been a start, but obviously somebody has to pay attention to the rest of the resources in order to finish this. We have vacant lots now that need attending to. We need people that need to have homes that they can have access to, and we need to keep the violent criminals off the street so that these people are not at risk and the homeowners can sit on their porch again.
You know, we're just a block also from the economic corridor, North Avenue, just one block to the north. We have to help those businesses, you know, and then Coppin is just 10 blocks to the east of here, so a lot of investment.
We have to give the businesses a reason to come back to this part of the city and to other parts of the city, and the only way that Baltimore City is going to get any more businesses to come into these parts of town to be able to address our food shortages, to be able to address our housing shortages, is to be able to make sure that we keep the criminals off the streets. And that's what we're going to do.
We are. This is a food desert. I mean, what's the nearest market? Mondawmin?
Mondawmin Shoppers.
That's 2 miles.
They were shutting down the market up there on Mondawmin. Was they supposed to be moving that market?
Well, it's still there for now, but we really have to attract.
We have to attract it, but if we attract food sources, they're not going to come if it's okay to shoplift everything out of their stores.
I totally agree.
If there's a risk of getting, armed robbery, if there's risk of getting shot, if there's a risk of being able to walk back and forth to work or back and forth to the market without getting hit by a stray bullet in broad daylight. That's what we have to do. That's what's going to continue to attract the businesses to come down.
Any thoughts on the young people in the schools? I mean, we've seen, particularly through the O'Malley administration, 21st century schools, but I got to tell you, Madam Secretary, these schools don't come to our neighborhoods. They're like 2 or 3 blocks outside of our neighborhood. Our children don't even benefit from our own tax dollars.
Every child in this state deserves a world-class education regardless of the zip code that they live in. And if those schools are not performing, then those schools need to be held accountable, and those parents should be given the choice for their schools to get the hell out of those schools if it's failing their kids. Because our kids, the only way that we're going to bring up this next generation to live a different way here in Baltimore City is to provide that education and that safety net that they need to have.
Well, I just want to thank you for taking the time to come to our community, because we don't get to see a lot of people running for governor come through here.
Well, there's not many issues that's any more important than safety, because without safety, nothing else matters, and it starts here, and we're going to fight hard, Donnie.
Thank you, Madam Secretary.